So thank you again for your time today. Today's SkySlope training is for agents. So if you guys are here, that means you have the awesome role of being an agent for Rosa Realty, and we're going to be focusing on your side of the platform. Today's session is being recorded, so you guys will have access to this prior or after the training. So if you need to review and go back, you always can. But just so you know, for quality purposes, I have gone ahead and placed you all on mute, just so that we make sure that everybody is able to hear each other and not able to hear each other and able to give everybody the best quality listening purposes. However, you can still ask questions. So feel free to send in questions while we're going through this training by utilizing that toolbar that you have at the bottom of your Zoom meeting that you're attending right now. So you can go ahead and submit questions through the chat or the Q&A feature. So either one of those, feel free to send in those questions. If I don't get to it right away, it probably means I'm getting ready to answer it a little bit further in the training. So don't worry about it. I will make sure that all of your questions get answered. And I'm super excited to have the opportunity to work with you guys today. To give you a face to the voice, since I am not your typical account manager, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Kylie Skupik. I am another dedicated account manager here at SkySlope. You guys have the wonderful benefit of having Taylor Grossman as your main account manager, and she is amazing. So I'm lucky to be able to work with you guys today on behalf of her. Just to kind of introduce and get a little bit of fun facts, break the ice a little bit. I love to travel. I previously raced motocross, and I am a huge football fan. So love pretty much any team sport, which is why I always love to start out all of my trainings by covering one of my favorite teams here at SkySlope, and probably going to be one of your favorite teams as well, and that's our support team. So our support staff is award-winning. They are second to none, and they are truly your biggest advocates here at SkySlope. And all of our support is in-house, so we do not outsource any support, which is amazing to always be able to tell all of our clients that you're not going to have that rough customer service experience here at SkySlope where you got to dial a phone number, press 700 numbers just to get a live person on the phone, and even then it's not super successful. Here at SkySlope, we're all in-house, nothing outsourced, and we back up our in-house support with some pretty incredible guarantees that you can see listed here on your screen. So if you give our support staff a call, we guarantee that they will pick up by the second ring. If you send them a chat, we guarantee that they'll reply within 10 seconds. And if you send them an email, we guarantee that they will respond within 20 minutes. And if for whatever reason they are not able to uphold those guarantees for you, coffee's on us. We will send you a free Starbucks gift card. I always tell all of my clients, feel free to challenge this at any time. I've been trying to get free coffee since I started working here at SkySlope, and I have yet to be successful in that. So great news for you, bad news for me. I'm going to have to get free coffee somewhere else, but we definitely are here for you 24/7, 365. So that's weekends, holidays, you name it. It's 2 a.m. and you're burning that midnight oil trying to get that deal closed. Our support staff is going to be there for you with those same incredible guarantees. So cannot reiterate enough how amazing they are and how much of a support system they are going to be for you guys as you're going into the SkySlope platform and as you continue on with all of your SkySlope success. Now, a big reason why we offer this amazing in-house support is number one, for you guys, because we want to be able to provide you the best, but it's also where we came from. So our CEO and founder, Tyler Smith, was a top producing agent here in Sacramento, California, and he was closing over 300 deals a year by himself and just really moving quicker than any platform that was available to him. So he decided to create his own. So the great thing about SkySlope is it was created by an agent for agents. So he really had your guys' actual day-to-day lives in mind with every nook and cranny of the system, because that was the life that he lived for so long. So he knew that having that paperless platform and partnering it with that amazing 24/7, 365 support team is really what was going to be crucial for you guys to be successful and thrive. So SkySlope is easy. You guys, we're going to cover your side of the platform, and that is involving two simple steps. So step one, getting those forms signed, getting those documents signed by your clients, getting into contract here. And then step two, turning in your file. So it's as easy as that. Step one, step two, that's it. That's all you need to do to get paid on time and ensure that you have your compliant file. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and And for those of you just joining us too, I see some chats coming in. We are recording today's link. Don't worry, I have not gone into the platform yet, so you have not missed anything except for some intro, but definitely we are recording and you guys will have access to this. So don't worry, I promise we'll make sure we get you taken care of. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my account. So this is my demo account. Yours is going to look very similar, but a little bit prettier. You're going to have your logo here up at the top left-hand corner, as well as a customized color scheme to match. So it is going to be branded specifically to La Rosa Realty. It's going to look excellent. But as far as the features, they're all going to be the same for you. So for starters, I want to explain to you your logo is an active logo. So if you click this logo here up at the top left-hand corner, it's going to take you back to this dashboard view that we're looking at right here. So this is kind of like your return to home button. You can think of it that way. This is going to be very helpful if you ever find yourself deep in the slopes of SkySlope and you're not quite sure how you got there or how to get out. You can always click your logo here, return back to this dashboard, and go ahead and get into the area that you need to connect with. But by far the best and the most important icon, if you don't remember anything of today, remember this, is this little guy with the headset right here. So this is how you get in touch with that amazing support staff. So if I click that little guy right there, it's going to take me right to our support page. You can see that it already is giving you the option to start a chat with support. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's see here. Obviously, you guys will be asking much more important questions here, but you can go ahead and start that chat. Support's going to start responding to you. Now, one thing that you can do, oh, there's Nathan. So one thing that you can do as well, say you're chatting with Nathan, you're going over everything, and you're just really not feeling like you're getting anywhere. You're having a hard time explaining it. Maybe you're wanting to just verbally talk to them. No problem. You can go ahead and just click this call me button and Nathan will call you directly. So he will help you and he'll be able to assist and walk through over the phone if you feel like chat is not really getting you anywhere. We'll let Nathan get back to better things here. All right. We'll exit out of this. So as you can see, super easy, always available for you guys. So you can go ahead and start that chat or give them a call and also send them an email. Another really important area is going to be the tutorial section here. So this tutorial section you guys have access to. It's broken up into some sections, or you can also browse all articles. So this is a really helpful area for if you're looking to get a little bit of extra help on a specific area of the platform, rather than sit through a full 30 to 40-minute training, you can come in here, search a specific topic, and we have a tutorial on there. And that could be anything from how to create a file to how to attach a document to the checklist. Whatever you can think of, we have an interactive tutorial for you, videos, you name it. So this is a super helpful area for you guys as well as agents to be able to come in here and get assistance. Another awesome area on the support page is the feature suggestions area. So this is where it says, got a suggestion for us. So as you guys are getting into the platform, you're learning it, you're loving it, you're using it, and you're like, you know, this is just amazing, but I wish it did this, or I wish it did this differently. Come in here, drop us a feature suggestion. Our CEO, Tyler Smith, monitors these personally. So this is how we are going to improve our platform, and this is where we're going to develop and dedicate our engineers' time into making it what you guys want. So feel free to drop a suggestion if you ever have one. So that's the area that you can go to do that. Now going back into my demo account here, we're going to go ahead and get started and working in the platform how you guys are going to be utilizing it on a daily basis. So step one, like we talked about earlier, is going to be getting those forms signed. So to begin with, we're going to be working with a listing client, my longtime client, Jennifer Lawrence. You may have heard of her. She called me up this morning and said she's ready to sell another one of her properties. So now I need to draft up that listing agreement. Now I know that you guys utilize zip forms now, which is going to be fantastic because we have it fully integrated throughout the platform. So you are going to start in zip forms, just like they explained to you in your zip forms training earlier this week. So there's two ways that you can go into this. Number one, you can always feel free to just go into zipformsplus.com if you prefer to have another tab open. You can also access it within SkySlope by going into working documents. So you'll see this third tab over is Zip Forms Plus. So this is where your Zip Forms integration is going to be available to you in SkySlope. Now the great thing is when you initially log into SkySlope, when you guys get your logins, it's going to ask you to provide your Zip Forms credentials. And once you provide those Zip Forms credentials, your login information, it's going to be fully integrated. You're never going to have to enter them in again. So it's a one-time login and then you're set. So this is where you can come in. Now, the even better part about our Zip Forms integration is that it's a two-way integration, meaning anything that I do within SkySlope right here, you can see I have the ability to create a transaction. I can add documents in. Anything that I do within SkySlope will translate over into zipformsplus.com and vice versa. So zipformsplus.com, if I'm working in there, so if I open up a tab, I'm going to open up Zipforms Plus. This is the full version here. So when I could be working here in ZipForms Plus, maybe I want to be applying templates or whatever it may be. Anything that I'm doing here in ZipForms Plus will automatically be updated into SkySlope. So as simple as clicking over to the tab of SkySlope and it will be available for you. So this is where you're going to start because obviously we need to create our listing agreement. We need to get it signed. One thing to note when you're thinking of files in SkySlope, whether it's a listing or a sale, listing or a transaction, is you're not going to be creating those property files in SkySlope until you have your contract signed, because you want to think of it as your final draft. So you have your listing agreement signed. Jennifer's gotten it back to me, and I am officially representing her home. Or if I'm representing buyer and we've been making multiple offers on multiple different homes, once we have our offer accepted and we are now in contract, that's when I'm creating the transaction in SkySlope. So to start, obviously we're not in contract yet. So we are going to go ahead and start by creating that ZipForms Plus transaction. I'm going to go ahead and name it my client's name. You guys are able to name it whatever you would like, however you guys organize your zip forms. You may have an internal process on how they want those named. So I would check with your admin on that. For my demo, I'm just going to name it my client's name. And we're going to add in, you can see this area is powered by Google here. So then we can go ahead and just add in her address and we're going to hit create. Now the next pop-up window that's going to apply is it's going to pull up your Zip Forms library. So this is where those forms, your guys' MLS forms are going to be accessible. And this is where you are going to be able to, access those forms. So this is where you can add in. Obviously, you're going to be adding in the ones that are applicable to whatever deal you're doing. For me, since I'm doing listing, I'm going to add in the listing contract. I'm going to add in that cover sheet. I will show you why here in just a moment. And then we'll also add in a lead-based paint disclosure just in case. So now I have that transaction created. So here is where those documents have now been added into that transaction. Now, for a template, because I see a question coming in regarding Zip Forms templates, those are going to be available to you. If you want to apply a template to a document, that's when you're going to want to utilize zipformsplus.com. So if I go back to my list here, you can see here's that transaction I just created in SkySlope that's now available to me within ZipForms Plus as well. So if I scroll in, here's that transaction that I just created. It's got that information pulled over, and it also is going to show me the documents that I've added in here as well. Here's those 3 documents that I just added. So, and as your admin said, templates, they have made them. Your admin have already gone in and created those for you. They also are going to continue to add them in for other states. So as of right now, I believe there's just a few of them in there, but they are continuing to work on that. Your guys' admin team have been doing blood, sweat, and tears to get this set up for you guys. You have a really awesome team. You guys are very lucky. So they're definitely working really hard to get everything set up for you to make this as easy as possible. So you guys are very fortunate. You're going to have just a couple clicks and be able to get this all said and done for you. So if you wanted to apply a template, this is where you would apply it. You would apply it within the ZipForms Plus. So that's how you would want to do that. If you're just going to be manually filling out the document, then you have the ability to do that within SkySlope as well. Also, I know that we have some concerns about the seller's disclosure layover. So we're going to be having that created for you. So you don't need to worry about creating that yourself. I'm going to show you with just the standard listing contract, but then I'll also show you where that template and that is going to be available to you to just apply to the document. So you're not going to have to manually add any of those. All right, so the first thing that I want to start with is the cover sheet. Reason why I want to start with the cover sheet, you guys, is because any information that you add into this cover sheet is going to auto-populate into all of your documents within that transaction. So it's really important, we want to make sure that we're filling this out as much of the information as we possibly have. Obviously, I'm covering a listing right now, so I'm going to fill out my seller's information here. We'll add her address. We'll add in some phone numbers. We'll give her an email address as well. Obviously, you guys are going to be filling out the appropriate information, as much of it as you have, because then obviously that information is going to auto-populate onto your forms for you. So you can see when we scroll down here, there's lots of different information that you can add in. So if you have multiple sellers, you can add the additional seller here. The selling broker information, you can create a template for this in zip forms. That way that auto-populates for you. But brokerage name. Okay, we can come in here and add all of this in, add all your street address. This can be templated in so you don't have to add this in every single time. So we'll add this information, and I apologize for the waiting here on the data entry side, but you can see I can just come in, fill out this information. Here is where we can fill out everything that we need. I'm only going to fill out that much just so you don't have to sit there and watch me do all this data entry, but you get the idea. We're coming in, we're filling in as much information as we have, and then we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now, the great thing is once I hit save, I can just click out. Now, if I go to my listing contract here, all of that information that I just entered in is going to auto-populate onto this form for us. So there's that autofill that is going to save you guys so much time. You can see we've got the address and the name. If we had added more information, more would have carried over for us. Another really awesome feature that I'm going to show you guys from within the document itself is this fast fill. So you guys are the experts. You don't need to read all of the legal text here. So you can go ahead and click fast fill. This will just break down any of the fillable fields that are available. So that way you can go in and just tab through, enter in all of your important information, and get that document filled out even faster. All right, we'll hit save. All right, so once I have my forms filled out, you can see I can also go back to viewer. It will be this, the original format. I can click out here. So you can fill out your forms right from within your SkySlope zip forms integration, or you can also fill it out through zip forms plus. If you're going to be utilizing your templates in zip forms that your admin are going to be creating for you, which I would highly recommend because it's going to save you so much time. This is where you're going to want to do it within the zip forms area. But now we're ready to go ahead and send this document out for signature. So we've got it all figured out. We've got it all filled out. I need to get Jennifer's signature. That way we can be in contract and we can move forward with her deal. So to do that, I can just select the documents that I want to send. For demo, I'm just going to send the listing contract. That way you guys can see what it looks like going out. And I'm going to click DigiSign. So DigiSign is our digital signature tool. It is fully integrated throughout the platform and included within SkySlope, so nothing extra for you guys. And this is where you're going to be able to collect those digital signatures. Now, Like we mentioned earlier, you're only going to want to be entering in those deals where you are fully in contract, meaning if we had our listing agreement signed back from Jennifer and we had already created our listing, or if we had already created our transaction within SkySlope, then we could definitely associate it with the property at this time by just searching the address and hitting select. Prior to that, though, and we're still working into getting that contract fully executed, we're going to go ahead and select no property because we do not have a property file created yet in our SkySlope account. We're going to do that here in just a minute. So I'm going to select no property. Here's that listing contract that it pulled over from Zip Forms for us. If I needed to add an additional document to send out, I could do so by clicking upload here. Choose template. So this is where your admin has gone in, especially for that seller disclosure. They have gone in and created a template for you to overlay over the document. That way you do not have to manually place those check boxes, initials, signatures, date signed, and all of that fun stuff. So here's where you would apply that template. You would just select choose template and select the template that's available to you that applies to that paper or that document itself. So right now the seller's disclosure is going to be available for you guys, and then we are working on getting the remainder of your documents templated as well. So just your admin's going above and beyond to make sure that this is going to be as easy as possible for you, and make sure that you have that template accessible so that you can just continue to apply it over the document and save you guys an immense amount of time. So the remainder of those templates are going to be coming and available to you guys in the next week or so, maybe week or two, and we're going to get those rolled out for you as soon as possible, so that way you're going to save a lot of time. For this one, I am going to walk you through how to manually send this document out in the case that you do not have a template. So we were going to go ahead and hit next. This area right here is where we're setting up who this document is going to. So you can see it's already pulled my information as the agent on the deal. If I need to add a new recipient, because obviously I need to send it to my client Jennifer, we are going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to add her in. I'm using Google Chrome, so it's trying to autofill for me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and enter in her information here, what role she plays. So she is the seller, and whether she needs to sign or just receive a signed copy. For this one, she does need to sign, so I'll go ahead and hit save. If there's information that I need to fill out as the agent, I'll select myself as well. You can add as many recipients as you'd like. So if there's multiple sellers, maybe Jennifer's selling with her fiance, or if there's a power of attorney involved, you want to add in all of those recipients here. If you want to do a signing order, meaning maybe myself as the agent, I want to fill out some information on this document before it makes it to my client. Not a problem. You would just select Add Signer Group, and then you have the ability to just drag and drop the order that you want. You can do as many signing groups as well. This also works really great, you guys, for those clients that are a couple that are selling their homes and they do everything together, including sharing an email address. So they both want to use the same email address in order to get the document signed. That's not a problem. Just add them both in and utilize that signing order. So have husband in there with the email, goes to husband first, then add a secondary recipient of the wife using the same email address, and just create that who signs first, who signs second. It will send over, allow the husband to sign, and then send right back to that same email address right after he's done so that the wife can sign as well. So very helpful if you have those clients that are sharing an email address. So once I have everything set up here as far as who it's going to, I can go ahead and hit next. For my demo, I'm just going to send it to myself. That way I can show you what it looks like coming to your clients. So I would hit next. Now we have this document. We can view it here. This is where you're able to go in and add signatures, initials, date signed, writable fields, any of those. Keep in mind with those templates that your admin are creating, you won't have to add those. So you won't have to go in and manually do all of this. They will already be applied to the document for you. You can always add on top of them. So if you wanted to add maybe an additional initial somewhere that was, kind of a one-off case, you can. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some information. So we need initials here. Single click is going to add that initial. You can move it around. If we have multiple signers, then you can go ahead, you can enter in that action item, and then this drop-down box would allow you to select who you want this action item to apply to and whether it's required or not. Now, the great thing is to you guys, especially for those documents that utilize a lot of initials or signatures, as long as this box, this toolbox is highlighted with that white box around it, I can add as many initials as I want. So you don't have to go back to the top and drag and drop every single time. As long as that white highlight is around the box, that is active, and you can add in as many as you would like. We need a signature here and a date signed. So this is where we can go in, add everything that we need to this document. Once again, with those amazing templates that your admin are creating for you, you will not have to do this every single time. So it's going to save you a ton of time. But once I have this document set up, if I'm manually doing it and I'm ready to go ahead and send out, we're just going to scroll to the top and we're going to select send. Subject title, I'm going to say you can customize it, whatever, however you want to say it. You can make a custom note in here, however long or short. I'm going to keep mine short because this is our demo here. We're going to go ahead and send for signatures. DigiSign is going to say, woohoo, that was easy. Your document was sent successfully. DigiSign's also acknowledging that we need to sign this document. So it's giving us the opportunity to sign now or sign later. I'm going to go ahead and sign now just to show you what it looks like coming to your clients. So here's the initial page. This is where your client is able to amend their name. Maybe they want to have their middle name in there with their middle initial. They can do that. Here is their options for signature. So this is where they're able to just select the style. I'm going to go ahead and select this one here. The I agree button, just to make this very clear for everybody so that there's no confusion and that you can reassure and explain this to your clients as well. By clicking I agree, you are not agreeing to the actual document. You are just agreeing that you are going to be potentially electronically signing this document, that you agree that this is how you want your name represented and this is the signature style you're choosing. So your client still has the opportunity to not sign this document. So make sure they know that. We get some complaints saying, you know, I haven't even read it. I don't want to agree yet. So you can reassure them they're just agreeing that they're going to be electronically signing it. Now our client is able to read through the document, make sure that they agree to everything, make sure that everything is correct. And when they're ready to go ahead and start signing, they're going to go ahead and click start. It's going to walk them through everything that's required of them. So here, single click's going to add my initials there. You can see it's already populated that date signed here for us. And then single click's going to add our signature here as well. Once we have completed the document and everything is all said and done, we can go ahead and click submit. Once this document is fully completed and fully executed, everyone who is participating in the document is going to receive a fully executed copy. So no need to go ahead and forward that PDF. Everybody who was included in there is going to receive a copy. I love, Dennis, love that it says this looks great. I'm loving the feedback and the excitement. That's awesome. So everyone will receive a signed copy for you guys. You don't have to forward anything out. Now, since we did not associate it with the proper the envelope that we sent out with a property file, there are two areas that this finished and completed document is going to live for us now. So number one, it's always going to live in our completed tab from within the DigiSign area. You can see here it is, date and time stamped. So this is where number one, that copy is going to be living for you. But then there's also another area that it's going to automatically get sent to as well, which I'm going to show you in just a minute because I did see a question come through about fixing a mistake on a document once you have sent it. So yes, you are definitely 100% able to do that. If I go into my sent ones, these are all of the documents that have not been completed. So as long as your document has not been fully executed, meaning if there were 4 people that were responsible for signing, and even if 3 out of the 4 have signed, as long as that 4th person has not signed, you can go back and amend the document without having to start over and start from scratch. And the way that you would do that is you would come here and you're going to click this little wrench icon right here. It's going to pull up a pop-up. This is also where you're going to resend, because if you go in and you haven't gotten your file back from your client and you're like, okay, what's going on? And they give you that ever popular answer of, oh yeah, I saw that in my email, but I don't know where it's at. Can you resend it to me? No problem. Click that wrench icon, click resend, and you'll be able to get that document sent back out to the client. Now for the correction side, that is where you would utilize correct envelope. You're going to hit correct envelope. There's going to be a pop-up that's going to say, hey, this, someone, if somebody has already signed, it's going to say, hey, this document's already been started. Do you still want to move forward with correcting? You're going to say yes. Once you make the correction that you need to, maybe you forgot an initial, or maybe you put a checkbox in the wrong area. Once you have that document corrected and you go back to resend it, anybody who had previously completed the document, so maybe those 3 out of 4 that had signed previously, it will automatically resend to the client so that they can re-sign with those amendments and those corrections made on the document. Okay, so it'll be basically like a blank slate. So any of those previous signatures will no longer be there. They are going to have to re-sign and re-agree. Another really awesome tool for you guys, because this happens a lot in your industry as well, with the follow-up. If you've sent out a document, you still haven't received it back, you can come here to this little icon. That's going to show you the entire history of this document. So when it was created, when it was sent, if it was delivered, if they opened it, if they downloaded it. This is where you can go in and you can take a look at the entire lifespan and the history of this document itself. So you can come in here, you can say, hey, client, I saw you opened it last Thursday, haven't seen it come through signed. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that I can help you with to get this document executed? And that way you can go ahead and use that as a follow-up tool to be able to remind them that they need that. All right. And then we also had a question about auto-populating here on the document. Yes, so with those templates that your admin are creating for you, that is going to be a feature that is going to be available. So it will go ahead and take care of that. So that way you're not having to manually enter those in every single time. So it's going to be very awesome and a huge time saver. Now, going back to where that completed document lives, obviously we said it lives in our completed folder, which we have right here, but there's also another area within SkySlope that it is going to automatically upload into. And you'll also receive an email to you guys. So once your document's been completed, it is going to email saying all parties have signed. Here's a PDF of it. But where it's available for you guys is in your working documents. So back where we had that zip forms tool, working documents, that first tab is a personal docs folder. So think of this as like your limbo storage area. So this is where you're going to be hosting all of those in progress or executed documents prior to being in contract. So obviously when you're representing seller, it's not going to be as long-term of a situation. You're going to get that listing agreement signed. Once you have that listing agreement signed, then that's when you're going to be able to create that listing file. So it won't have that limbo situation. But for the buyer, if we're representing Betty Buyer here, maybe she doesn't know what she wants. We're making offers on 6 different types of homes or multiple offers on the same home. We are not going to be creating a file in SkySlope for every single one of those because they're not all going to get accepted. So we're only going to be creating the one that is accepted. So in the meantime, in that interim, in that limbo period, we are going to utilize the personal docs area. So I highly recommend you could title this however you want it. Mine is titled active buyers, and I've got all my buyers here. So you've got their own little folder. Keep in mind, this is viewable and accessible only to you. So this is like your personal private SkySlope Dropbox that you have access to. There's unlimited storage in this area, so you don't have to worry about running out of file storage. You can create your folders and your subfolders. And as you can see too, if I go into my unfiled docs, here's that listing contract that we just executed. So that finished and completed copy is automatically uploaded into that personal docs section, and it's now available for you to move into your folder. So if I have active buyers here, I'm going to create Jennifer a folder here. Jennifer Lawrence. And now that listing agreement, I want to move that into Jennifer's folder. So I'm going to select the document that I want to move, and I'm going to hit move, and I'm going to scroll down to her folder. So active buyers, Jennifer Lawrence, we'll select that. You can see that it automatically removed it from the unfiled documents. And now if I go into Jennifer's folder, here's that listing contract. You can rename it too if you'd like, but this is where you're going to host all of Jennifer's documents prior to having the file created in SkySlope. Also, we had a question in regards to DigiSign. If the client is present at the office with me, can he still sign using DigiSign? Yes, you can. He would just need to access his email. If he has like a tablet or a phone, you can sign on DigiSign through your phone as well. And there is also a mobile app for DigiSign. The client does not have to download the app in order to sign. So they can sign in front of you electronically, no problem at all. If you want to kind of walk through that with them, that's great. You can also upload documents here. So you can upload a document. You have access to your files here where you can upload. So if you have anything saved on your desktop or maybe anything in another file, you can always drag those in and add those into the personal docs area. And this is where you're going to be housing, like I said, all of those files. So now, however, we have an executed listing contract. So this is where we're going to want to add, we now need to create her listing because we have that executed contract. It's real. We really are representing Jennifer. We need to get her into the platform. So I'm going to use my dashboard or my main screen button here. And Brooke, yes, you are going to create a transaction in Zip Forms before you create a transaction in SkySlope. So you guys are always going to be starting in Zip Forms initially to get those forms filled out and get those forms executed. And then once you do have an executed contract, that's when you're going to be creating those file folders here in SkySlope. So now that I need to create a listing, I'm going to go ahead and select the Create Listing button here. Mainframe button, I see Jim. The logo here, the top left-hand corner is what is going to allow you to come back to this dashboard view. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and create the listing. So when I click that, this is your first introduction to Sky. So this is our artificial intelligence that we have built into the platform. She's a very friendly face here, and she is only going to continue to progress and grow. So right now, she is able to pull information from the MLS for you and auto-populate that information into the file, so just helping eliminate some of that data entry for you guys. She is, like I said, going to continue to progress and add more additional features. So you can look to see more from her, relatively soon and getting all of that taken care of. So right now, we're going to go ahead and start she's just going to walk us through a few steps in order to get this file built. So she's going to ask us a few questions. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull up an address here. So we're going to go ahead and enter the listing. The first question that she is going to ask us is what the property address is. Now, what's great is that this is powered by Google. So you do not have to, it will start, as soon as you start typing in, it will start searching for that address. You can also switch to manual entry. So if you just prefer to enter it in manually, you can as well. All right. I'm going to search by Google, though, because that's going to make it easiest for me. All right, so I'm going to start typing in my address here. This is the home she's going to be selling. Here's my address, and I'm going to go ahead and click Let's Go. So now she's saying, hey, good news. I found information to save you some time. It's got this cute little picture of the home here, but she's letting us know, hey, I just found all of this information. Do you want me to go ahead and enter this in for you? If this is your listing, then definitely you would want to hit this is my listing. If it's not, then obviously you want to hit this is not my listing. However, this is. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to hit this is my listing, and we're just going to confirm that with her. This is where if you're probably not going to see this in your account. My demo account is associated with multiple offices, meaning for me as an agent, I work in the Sacramento and the Manteca office. If you only work in one office, this question won't even populate for you, so you can ignore that. I'm going to go ahead and select the Sacramento one. So now Sky is asking us what type of listing this is. Now this is a huge important step for you guys because this is what is going to determine the type of checklist that is going to apply to your specific property. So definitely want to make sure that we're selecting the correct one. Yours is going to look familiar to the checklist that you guys already know and love and are used to working with. So these names are just the names that are available in my demo account. So yours is going to look different here. For me, this is just a residential resale. I'm going to go ahead and select that one, but obviously just making sure that we're making the correct selection at this time. And we're going to hit next question. She's now asking us to confirm. So this is some of the information that she pulled from that MLS integration. She's just saying, hey, is this still correct? If it is, you can go to the next question. If you need to make an amendment, you can at this time as well. I'm going to confirm it because it is still right. Now she's asking us for the listing and the sales commission. So for me, I'm going to do an even 2.5 split. If we were getting paid on a flat rate, we could switch to a flat rate as well. If we have a co-listing agent working with us, we can add that co-listing agent in at this time as well. For me, it's just me. I'm going to go ahead and represent Jennifer on my own. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next question. She's got our listing date populated here because she did pull that from the MLS as well. So she's now just asking, hey, when's this listing going to expire? Obviously, this date will apply based on the dates that you have already set up in your listing agreement. I'm going to kick it out for demo. We'll say the end of the year here, and I'm going to hit next question. Once again, just confirming that information that she already pulled from the MLS. So built in 1925. If we needed to make edits, we can. Now she's also asking us what the source of this deal is. So how do we get this deal? There's a drop down bar here with multiple options, lots of different options, even door knocking for us to select to. If you don't see anything in here that really applies, or if you're utilizing a specific type of marketing or a specific tool and resource and you want to track how many deals you're getting from it, you can either select website or other, and it will allow you to manually enter in whatever it is that you're wanting to track. For me, she's a repeat customer, so I'm going to add that in there. Now they want to know who's selling the property. We already know that it's our girl Jennifer Lawrence here. Okay, and adding her name and email address in here. If we needed to switch to a company seller, then we could do that. If Jennifer, like I mentioned previously, was selling with her fiance or her boyfriend or whatever, we could add an additional seller in at this time as well. For this demo, it's just Jennifer. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Now, this does not necessarily apply to you guys. This is for our California agents. So this is just something that I still want to show you guys because this is just a glimpse as to how Sky is going to progress and just continue to assist you guys in making sure that your deals are completed as efficiently as possible. So NHD is a form that we have here in California, natural hazard disclosure, and it is required. So this is giving our agents an opportunity to order that right here, right now, and have it automatically uploaded into the property file for them. So just saving them that additional step later on down the line. I'm going to go ahead and pass since that doesn't apply to you, and I'm going to hit no thanks. Now she's just asking us, hey, does everything look right? Here's all of the information that we have based on what I've pulled from the MLS, as well as what you've provided for me, confirming that it's all correct. And if it's not, we can always go back. For me, it is, so I'm going to go ahead and select Create My Listing. That's going to bring us to our next screen, which is the checklist. So this, once again, is going to look very relevant within your guys' platform. This is going to be your checklist that you're used to knowing and loving. So this is my demo checklist right here. So here we have anything that is required listed as required and labeled in red, and anything that is, if applicable, in that nice light blue here. And so here's now basically our to-do list, guys. These are the documents that we need to get executed, need to get taken care of in order to get this file completed and sent over to our admin for their review. So here we have see. Oh, looks like somebody is not able to hear us. So yes, I will send you that phone number right now. Sorry guys for the pause. I want to make sure that everybody can hear us. All right. So here's our checklist. This is what we're going to be working with. So this is where you have the ability to see what is going to be required of you. Now, if you remember here, we already have our listing agreement signed. It's in our personal docs, right? We need to get that into this property file. So we can do that by just simply going into our working documents here. We're going to go into Jennifer's folder. Here's that listing contract that we need to get moved over. I'm going to select the document that I want to move over. Now, keep in mind, you guys will probably have far more documents in there than just the one that I have. You can either select all or just select the ones that apply, especially if you're representing buyer and you're making offers on multiple different homes and they're all in that folder. You're obviously going to want to move over the ones that apply to that specific home that actually got the offer accepted. For this, I'm just going to move over that listing contract right here. So here I'm going to select it and I'm going to hit assign. So move is to move a document from within one folder of your personal docs to another. Assign is to move that document into the actual property file itself. So I need to assign this to my listing that I just created for Jennifer. So if I come over here on my listing side, I can start typing in the address. Here's my address right here. I'm going to select it and search. Here's my active property file that I just created. So I'm going to go ahead and click assign. Now what that's going to do is that is going to move. So if I go back into Jennifer's folder here, it's now empty. It just moved that document that was in my personal docs and sent it straight into that property file. So if I come up here to my search bar, here's my file. And now if I go to that Documents tab, we have that listing agreement right here that we just moved over from our personal docs. So now we have that in the property file. It's available to us to be able to utilize and now assign to the checklist. So that's one way of getting documents into the platform, is if you're utilizing the personal docs, you can just assign them out. You'll also notice that there is a email address right here. So this is a property specific email address that is available and created to you guys every single time a listing or a transaction is created. So this is not something that you guys have to do. This is something that SkySlope's going to do for you, which is amazing because there are so many ways that you can utilize this property specific email address. You can scan documents in. Maybe you met your client at SkySlope or at Starbucks, and you got your documents hand signed. Okay, you've got a wet signature. You need to get those into the platform. No problem. You can just scan them in and send them directly to that property specific email address, and that document will automatically be forwarded in to the Documents tab for you. Maybe you sent your documents to your client and they filled them out at home, and then they wanted to be able to send them back to you. So you can go ahead and she emailed them back. She scanned them and emailed them back. So here's Jennifer. She's all smiley and happy, ready to sell her property with me. She's got her listing packet attached to this email. So all I need to do is I'm just going to copy this email address here, and I'm going to forward this listing packet to that property specific email address, and I'm going to hit send. Okay, message sent. Now the great thing about that is not only is it forwarding this listing packet into the Documents tab for us, but it's also going to take any and all verbiage and communication that is included in that email or that email chain and log it into the log tab for us, which we'll cover that here in just a second. But it's going to be logging that communication for you guys. So really taking care of two things at once, getting that document into the platform and then logging that communication for compliance. So now if I come in here, I'm going to exit out of Jennifer's email. So this is where that document is going to upload for me once it's sent in through the email. The log tab that I just mentioned is here, right next to the right of it. So this is our digital footprint, you guys. So this is logging everything that we do within the SkySlope platform. So this is going to be great because this is a great resource. You can add notes in here, like a notepad. You can also email this out, print it out. This is where you're going to be able to view everything and anything that you've done within the platform or related to this property file. As you can see here, here's that email that I just forwarded in. If I click on it, you can see that it's an actual snapshot of the whole email thread. Okay, it's also showing that there is an attachment here as well. So that's just another way of getting in documents. So, right, we can scan them in utilizing this property specific email address. We can forward them in. We can send them in from our personal docs. So lots of different ways that you can get in documents. You can also just manually upload documents, you guys. If you have these saved on your desktop, you can upload them directly from here. This area does support PDFs, JPEGs, Words, all of that. I saw a question come in about a JPEG. So yes, if they took pictures of them, you can still get them into the platform. Just forward those into the SkySlope property specific email address. Another great way for that email address to be utilized is for logging communication. So not just when they're attaching documents to emails, but if you guys are starting that communication line, have that property specific email address as a CC recipient and just ask them to reply all. And then everything that you guys are talking about in that strand of email is going to automatically log into the log tab for you. You can also just forward long email chains. Maybe you've been in communication a lot, you've got this long email chain going, you can just forward it into that property specific email address and it's going to pull all of that communication into the log tab for you as well. You can also use this for text messages, which is a huge thing for you guys now. I just sold my home last year and I was texting my agent like every single day. So I totally get that that's a big part of your guys' day-to-day lives. That's available for you as well. There's two ways that you can do that. Number one, you can text through our mobile app. Our mobile app is available for Apple and Android, so both sides. So you can go ahead and just send them a text message through the mobile app, and that will automatically log within the property file for you. Or you can also start a group chat. So you would just start a group text. You'd obviously have your client's information as that first recipient. And then for the second one, you would just either manually type in that property specific email address or copy and paste. And now everything that you're talking about within that text message chain is going to log into the log tab for you for logging that communication as well. So don't have to, do a screenshot of the text messages and email them in. You can do that if you'd like, but not necessary with that SkySlope property specific email address. So super helpful. Now, what about when we send a packet to our client? Maybe we sent them 6 different documents that we needed them to sign, a full listing packet, and they sent it back as one attachment. Maybe they scanned it in from their printer and it's all just one attachment. Happens all the time, no problem. You have access to what is called the split tool here. So here's that full listing packet. To answer Brooke's question before we jump into the split tool, you can add previous text. You would just, for that, you would need to add the screenshot in. You can't be retroactive with adding them into the system. So it would just be moving forward. So with this split tool here, we need to split this document up because we don't want to attach every single document to every single line item of the checklist. That's going to be a nightmare. We want to clean it up. We want to have them split up and separated. And we also don't want to stand at the copier and manually scan in each one individually because nobody has time for that. So we can come over here and click the split tool. That's going to open up a pop-up window here, guys. We have a view panel over here on the right-hand side. It's going to show us the actual document. I personally wear glasses, so I love to zoom in on this because I could not see that. So you've got some zoom tools here. We can move it around. And you also have these arrows to be able to thumb through the entire document. So you can see on this listing packet, the first area is the listing agreement. So we're able to go ahead and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start typing listing agreement. It's going to detect that that is a checklist item. And I'm going to go ahead and select it. Now I need to see what kind of a page range we have here. So I'm going to scroll through, see how long that specific listing agreement is. Looks like it ends on page 8 because page 9 is that agency agreement. So I'm going to change that page range here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the agency agreement. Looks like that ends on page 11 for us, and now we've got that seller advisory. So I can come in here, split this packet up as much as I want, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit split and assign. What that's going to do is it's not only going to split that packet for me, but it's also going to automatically assign these documents to the checklist items because it's detecting that those are checklist items for us. It's going to say, nice job, you split 3 documents and 3 were attached to your checklist. So now if I go back to my checklist, you can see that those items that were previously red and required are now yellow and in review. So showing the successful allocation of those documents. Those have now automatically been sent to our admin for their review and approval, so you don't have to call, text, email, carrier pigeon, let them know that they're ready for their eyes to look at. It's automatically going to let your admin know that there are documents that are in need of review for your guys' profile and your guys' property. Also, if we go back to our Documents tab here, you'll now notice that we still have that original listing packet, but now we also have 3 separate attachments because we've broken those up. They've been labeled as what we assign them to. And we also have a cute little paperclip icon. That's just letting us know that that document is actually attached to the checklist here. Now, one thing that we can do too is that way, if we want to keep this area cleaned up, maybe I don't want to really look at this listing packet here. Keep in mind, guys, this is always going to stay in its original form. So you can split this 7 ways till Sunday. It's still going to be available to you. It's still going to be available to have that full packet in its original condition. Everything is date and timestamp, but if I want to move this out of the way because I'm not really going to use it anymore, I only want to see what's actually applying, I can select that document and I can move it to the trash. This is not going to delete it. So you guys, it'll still be here in the trash. You can always move it back up if you need to as well. But that will kind of keep this area clean for you guys. Maybe I attached the wrong listing agreement. So remember, I attached it from that listing packet, but maybe I realize now that's not the most up-to-date one. This one right here is. I can select that listing agreement and hit unassign. It's going to ask me if I'm sure I want to unassign it. I'm going to click unassign here. And now I can assign right from the Documents tab as well. So if I don't have anything to split, it's just an individual document and I just need to get it assigned to the checklist, I can do so by just selecting that item, whatever I want to assign, and clicking assign. It's going to pull up a snapshot of our actual checklist item. So here's that listing agreement. I can select that one and I can hit assign. So a couple different ways that we can add those documents into the checklist for your admin to be able to get reviewed and approved. Obviously, making sure that we are uploading and adding the most up-to-date version, so that way our admin are not kicking it back if it's missing something. But another way that you can do it as well in that checklist area is this comment section. So maybe you uploaded the listing agreement, but you realize it's an outdated version and you still are working on getting a new one. You can come in here, say still working on it, or whatever you may need, and hit save. That note will automatically get sent to your admin and update them so that way they know that you're still working on it and it's not ready for their review. Think of this as like a digital sticky note. So you guys used to have those really thick, awful manila folders, and maybe you were putting it on an admin's desk and you've got that sticky note on the front with a little note, so that way you can have, a little bit of a, hey, heads up, or hey, and let me explain something real quick. This is that digital sticky note right here. So this is where you have access to that, and you can leave your admin a note. They can also respond to you. So it's a really awesome way to communicate. Melissa, you're so sweet. Thank you. So this is a great way to communicate back and forth with your admin, letting them know, keeping them updated. I also saw a question come in, must we split the docs first, I'm assuming from the checklist? No, you don't have to. If you don't need to split it up, you can just assign it directly. If you're asking if the documents area is the only way, or where, like the only area that you can split, then yes, you do need to split. The split tool is only available here within the Documents tab of that property folder. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. Okay, so now we have successfully not only completed our step 1 as an agent, we went into DigiSign, we filled out our documents, we got them signed by our client, we're in contract, we're super excited, and then now we have also submit our documents to the file for review. So that is step 1 and 2 for you guys. That is the core functionality for you guys in SkySlope, you guys are going to have an unlimited amount of tools with support with your amazing account manager, Taylor, and also with those templates that your admin are just grinding hard to be able to get in there for you. That is something that is going to be a huge benefit and resource and just make your guys' lives so easy. You can just lay those templates on and move on with your day. Focus more on getting that house sold, getting those offers accepted, getting your offers in. That's what we want you guys focused on here at SkySlope. So we want to make sure that you guys have that time to be focusing on that. All right, so moving forward here, you can see too, just to kind of look at the progress, you can see our log tab is getting full now, right, guys? So we can come in here, you can see that we've moved, we've assigned, we've deleted, we've sent some emails in, office inbox is notified of that note that we have. So this is starting to get full. You can also enter notes. Maybe you've been trying to get a hold of another client. You can come in here and enter a note. You know, left voicemail for potential buyer, 5/9/2019, whatever it may be, maybe their phone number. You can hit save. Now we've got that note in here. So this is kind of like your running notepad as well. If you need to make any notes to yourself regarding the actual property file. I want to also show you a really awesome tool as well that is available to you guys, and that is called a shared bundle. So I know social media is super important to you guys in your field right now. Also, just being able to share documents that you have within SkySlope to people that don't have access to your SkySlope. You can utilize shared bundles, okay? So what I want to do is I can come in here, maybe I want to share these 3 documents with somebody. I can click those documents, I can hit share docs, name your bundle. We're gonna play pretend here for you guys. I need you to put your imagination caps on for me, that these are maybe a flyer and some pictures of the home and then a property info sheet, because we're gonna be sharing this on social media, okay? So this is, we're gonna title it social media here, and we're gonna hit create. What that does is it creates an active link. If I copy that link here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up an incognito window, that way I can show you guys. You can post this link on social media. You can post this link on your email signature. If maybe you're really trying to push a home, you're really trying to get this one out here, this link is accessible anywhere. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and post this on social media, and somebody clicks on that link. What it's going to do is it's going to bring them to this window. It's going to say, hey, welcome. Give me your information. So you can come in here. I'm a potential buyer for Jennifer's home. Okay, and I hit view documents. So here is that property address for the property folder we're working on, your name as the agent, your brokerage's name, your email, your phone number, and here's those documents here. So if I'm clicking on maybe that brochure, because we're pretending this is the brochure, I can now view this document. I can see it just as if I had access in the SkySlope platform. This is also a great way to share your documents after closing with your clients, guys. If you don't want to download all of the documents, you can just select the ones you want to send over to them, send them a shared bundle link. They can come in, they can download it at their own convenience and be able to access those documents so that they have them. Now, even more so why I showed you this is more on the social media and the follow-up side, because if I go back to my log tab now, you can see here, I created that bundle, but here's everyone who viewed it. So it's going to provide you that information. It's going to even tell you what they clicked on. So here, I viewed that seller advisory. So it's going to be a great follow-up tool for you guys to be able to see who's clicking on your links. That way you don't have to play the guessing game or wait for a like on Facebook. You can just go ahead and see exactly who's looking at what. As far as how it looks on social media, it's going to look just like a link. So just as if you were to copy and paste, it's just going to look like this. So what I would suggest is, you know, having a picture with the subject title as that link. That's usually a good way to entice, or maybe a showing information and with that link attached. So lots of options, lots of customization there available for you guys, and just another tool within the SkySlope platform to be able to increase that engagement for you guys, which is super important. So we've talked a lot about the listing side. We also mentioned earlier utilizing the working documents for when you're working with a transaction, definitely more so on the buyer side because you're going to be making those multiple offers. Now, one thing that I do want to show, I'm not going to walk you through how to create a transaction because it's the same process as creating a listing, but I do want to show you in the transaction. So here we can go ahead and view a document. So if we jump into this file here, it's going to look very similar as the listing side, except for now it's titled transaction. We've got a contacts tab, but we also now have this commissions tab, you guys. So this is where you can come in, you can enter in additional breakdowns. Maybe you're donating to a charity and you need to have that additional information located in here. You can add a commission split, an additional commission breakdown. So really important area for you to be able to come in, add any additional information or important information for your admin when it comes to getting paid, which we all know is super important. So this is your commissions tab that's available. We've also got that checklist tab, documents tab, log tab, and tasks tab as well. Melanie, great question. As far as additional fees being charged by the listing agent, this is that same area. So you can see here, maybe you have a TC fee or you have an additional fee. You can come in here and add that in. So this is where you can also put additional commission notes and breakdown here as well. So this is that area that you're going to want to submit that. All right. Jumping back to our dashboard here. Let's go here. So we also had a question come in, how do I enter in a new home under construction, a sales, so no MLS number, maybe no record? That's not a problem at all. When you're going in and you're creating that listing or that transaction, I would just suggest doing manual entry. So remember when we added in the original home, we can do it powered by Google. If there's, as long as you have an address, you can enter it in. If there's nothing in the MLS, that's fine. It's not going to stop you from creating that file. It's just not going to, obviously, if it's not in the MLS, it's not going to have anything to pull over for you. So there's just a little bit of additional questions, but you just won't have any of that auto pull, but you can still create that file. All right, one other thing that I want to show you is you have two different directions that this can go for you guys on closing day. So if you've just been a rock star agent, you've got all of your documents submit, everything is approved, it's beautiful, picture worthy, and your file is completed, then once your admin closes out that file, your closed file is going to live in the Access archives. You have access to this at any time. This is where that completed file is going to live. You can also download documents out of your completed files. That way, if you need to maybe send that client the HUD that they claim they never got, you can come in there and download that document for them and get it sent out. However, if you do not have all of your documents 100% completed, maybe you're waiting on a couple from the other side, or you're just trying to get that file 100% completed, it is going to live in the closed transactions to be archived. So this is a really important area for you guys to look into and make sure that you keep on track, because you want to make sure you're getting all of these items closed out so that it can be archived and you can get paid. So super helpful and super important to be checking this area. We had a question come in of how do you know when your documents have been approved? That's a great question. So what your admin are going to do, they're going to be going in, they're going to be reviewing and approving your documents. And there's two ways that you're going to get this information. If you have the mobile app downloaded, it will send you a push notification showing you what documents were reviewed and what documents were approved. But then it's also going to send you an email. So if you're going to get an email once your admin have finished reviewing your file for the time being, you're going to get an email that looks like this. It's going to say, hey, your SkySlope checklist has been reviewed. Here's the property address it was reviewed for. And here's an actual snapshot of your checklist. So you know immediately, okay, perfect. My listing agreement was approved. My agency agreement was approved, but my seller advisory got kicked back. Notice that it's incomplete because I'm missing initials on page 2. So your admin are going to go ahead and leave you a note letting you know exactly what you need to do in order to get that document reviewed and approved. Yes, if you do need to leave, we are recording this, so you will have a link. So don't worry if you have things to go to. We want to make sure that you can attend those. So don't worry if you do need to head out. But this is how you're going to get that update from your admin, letting you know, okay, here's what you need to do. It also is going to give you links right here from within the email to jump right into your SkySlope account or jump right into DigiSign, because SkySlope's detecting, hey, they may need to send this back out for some more signatures or initials. So you can jump right into DigiSign from this active link within this email as well. All right, great question, you guys. So that covers everything that we want you to really focus on within SkySlope. Remember, starting in zip forms, applying those templates that your amazing admin have gone and created for you, sending out via DigiSign, utilizing those additional templates that they've created for you, just really making it so easy for you to get those overlaid over the top of the document and moving on to bigger and better things, collecting those signatures, getting those papers back, and then creating those files once we have that executed contract. So those are the most important things that I want you to focus on. Once again, today's session was recorded, so want to make sure that if you need access to it, we'll make sure to provide that to you so you can always come back and review. But once again, I cannot reiterate enough for you guys, utilize our support staff. Here's that icon at the top right-hand corner. They are, once again, second to none. They're there for you 24/7, 365, no matter what. No question is a bad question. So you have access to that at all times and and anything that you need. So we want to be here to support you guys. You guys are going to be immensely successful in SkySlope. I know you guys are going through a lot right now with all of the new integrations, but you guys are really being set up for success, and it's going to be amazing and super resourceful, and you guys are going to have all the free time in the world to go in and get more deals closed and make more money, which is what we want for you here at SkySlope, and I know that's what La Rosa wants for you as well. Thank you guys so much for all of your time today. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited for you to get in the platform and just really start crushing it. If you have any questions, hit up support. Once again, my name is Kylie. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Happy SkySloping, guys.